Pull up, grab the fuel nozzle, and get ready to fuel up on trends and strategies to grow your travel center business in this episode of The Truck Stops Here, brought to you by NATSO. Now, here's your host, Amy Toner.
Hello, welcome to today's episode of The Truck Stops Here. I'm your host, Amy Toner. You are listening to The Truck Stops Here, the NATSO Foundation's podcast. The NATSO Foundation is the research, education, and public outreach subsidiary of NATSO. This podcast is just one of the many educational tools the foundation creates. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Jeffrey Godwin to the podcast. Hi, Jeffrey.
Good morning.
He is the vice president on the board of the International Towing Museum. So we're going to talk about the Survivor Fund and the Towing Museum as well. Can you just start by telling us about yourself? Surprise question.
Absolutely. My name is Jeffrey Godwin, and as you said, I'm vice president of the Towing Museum in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We also operate a Survivor Fund for the families of those who get killed on the side of the road and a memorial wall. Been in the towing business for about 30 years, Roadside. Changed jobs only through acquisition and currently work for Cox Automotive as a part of FleetNet America.
How long have you been the vice president of the Towing Museum?
Boy, that's a great question. My answer is usually 2, and then I follow that with long.
Okay,
but it's somewhere north of 10 years. I know that been involved with the fund and the wall since we started those in 2005.
Okay. Well, the Survivor Fund is what we wanted to talk about today. The NATSO Foundation has an initiative to help keep drivers or roadside repairmen safe on the side of the road. When that doesn't happen, then they can also reach out to you, or their family can reach out to you about the Survivor Fund. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, unfortunately, we do have tragedies in our industry very regularly. And we have men and women who get killed in the line of service on the side of the road, just supporting the motoring public. As a result, we created the Survivor Fund to help those families with some immediate financial need. Mm-hmm. And currently, we have a death benefit available to the industry across the board that is $7,500. And for those who are where a company is a member of the museum, it's $15,000.
How do families apply for the funds?
So the Survivor Fund has a website. You can go to towingmuseum.com or thesurvivorfund.com. Mm-hmm. And the forms are there. They can be filled out electronically or downloaded and filled out and sent into the museum. And then we have a committee who reviews those applications in a very timely manner. And we typically are able to turn around the checks on the Survivor Fund within a couple of days.
Now, I know it's the Towing Museum, but it's not just towing operators, right?
Absolutely. We cover any roadside professional who is performing work to support transportation in the line of service. So as long as you're working and you're repairing a vehicle, you're towing a vehicle, you're changing out a tire, whatever it happens to be, if you're on the job, you're covered by the Survivor Fund.
How can people support it? I know you have the golf tournament, right?
We do an annual golf tournament in conjunction with the Florida Tow Show. We're looking at expanding that maybe into some other tournaments over the next couple of years. But most of our donations come either through just direct donation to the Survivor Fund, or we have a pledge program that folks can sign up for online. And each time someone's killed in the line of service, we send out the information after we've paid the claim and say, hey, here's what we paid out. You pledge that each time somebody was killed in the line of service in the industry that you could give X number of dollars. Now is the time to replenish the fund by giving those dollars. And that's what helps us increase the benefit. We just last month increased it to this $15,000 level. We've been very blessed with support, and especially considering the frequency of these cases. But having started with a goal of being able to give away $500 and not having $500 to give away, it's nice to be in a position that we're able to help the families the way we are today.
Absolutely. In the fall, you have an event. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the museum has an annual fundraiser as well. And so it's the museum's weekend, and we do a lot of different things in conjunction with that. Mm-hmm. The first thing is our incoming Hall of Fame class. We have a meet and greet for them one night that includes our annual auction, which is our museum's primary fundraiser of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And we auction off all kinds of fun things there. And then the next day, unfortunately, is when we unveil the names on the wall of the Fallen Memorial on Saturday morning in that museum weekend. And very moving ceremony. We get those folks honored, and lots of family members attend, those kinds of things. And then that evening, we have the Hall of Fame inductions for the towing industry. And we do our annual membership meeting for the museum the following morning, and then start planning for the next year.
I know you feel very passionately about this. How did you get involved?
I've been in the towing business for 30 years now, and it's paid for everything I do in my life. It's been very good to me. The people in it are just amazing. Having gotten into the heavy duty space in the last 10 years, learned a whole lot more about what happens on the roadside, and the fact that vehicles are not only serviced on the side of the road, but major services take place. And that keeps people in harm's way longer, and certainly have developed more of a passion for that. But my wife's been in this industry for as long as I have, and it's just something that's in our blood.
Are there opportunities for other people to get involved?
Absolutely. We'll take all the volunteers we can get. So the museum is a 501c3 nonprofit, so we are operated by volunteers for the most part. We have a local staff. We have a gift shop and a museum. Love for folks to come by and see it in Chattanooga. But as far as the board goes, the Survivor Fund Committee, the things we do out at tow shows and events around the country, the golf tournament, all that stuff, there's lots of ways to get involved. A lot of that's on the website, and folks can certainly reach out to the museum or myself.
And on the website is the application, everything
Yes.
we need to know, right? Okay. All right. Well, it feels weird to transition to my fun questions, but it's a podcast tradition. We have to do it. Are you ready?
I'm scared, but yes.
They're pretty easy. All right. What's your go-to on the road snack?
Wasabi soy almonds.
Stuck at a truck stop in a snowstorm, how do you pass the time?
Probably looking at cars online.
Do you prefer to drive or ride?
Ride.
How do you like your truck stop coffee?
Old.
Reheated, like I was saying, I like mine.
I've been in the business too long. You know, a pot of coffee that's been sitting there so long it's almost like syrup. That's good stuff.
Good. Okay. And then we end with a faux controversial question, which is it a truck stop, travel center, or travel plaza?
Travel center.
Travel center. Okay. Thank you for coming on the podcast, and thanks for everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. I love what the foundation's work is, and glad you guys are getting involved. Glad we can support those folks out there turning wrenches on the side of the road.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Truck Stops Here. You can find us online at natso.com/podcast. If you have any questions or you'd like to be on the podcast, please reach out to me at editor@natso.com. Again, bye.
The Truck Stops Here was brought to you by NATSO, the association representing truck stops and travel centers. Visit natso.com for more information.